Terran space was dangerous. Any ship that ventured anywhere near their solar system vanished. Sometimes the humans would release the ships after taking its prisoners, leaving the empty ship floating alone in the cold vastness of space. I stood at the edge of the Sol system. My entire armada floated alongside my mothership. The folk tales of the humans might be famous, but the amount of water found on their blue planet was even more famous. General, the fleet is in position. We have broadcast our demands for surrender to the Terrans, but they have said nothing, sir. My chief communications officer, Paulo, said. The furs on his snout moved with every word that came out of it. Send in advance teams Alpha and Bravo, I barked, while I walked back towards the middle of my command center, where lay over a dozen screens. I looked at all the data that my team was collecting on the planet. There was an uproar of communications on Earth. I could hear the Americans taking charge in the conversation with the British not far behind, all assuring the other governments that proper measures were being taken. I scoffed. The lies these people were telling. All this talk, but not one fighter had taken off from their atmosphere. There wasn't even a defense ready. Sir, Alpha Team and Bravo Team just disappeared. Paulo screeched from his desk. The fear in his voice was clear. My mind raced. There's no way that could be. Their ships had the most advanced technology that our minds could conjure. They couldn't have just vanished like some common smuggler's ship. Find them now, I yelled as I frantically began to look through all the data we had. The humans were still talking amongst each other. Not a single one of their ships had left the atmosphere. This wasn't an attack from the humans. Sir, we can't. It's like they just disappeared as soon as they crossed the asteroid field. It's like how the stories go. Paulo said, impossible. I won't have my soldiers believing in some bullshit fairy tale. Do you understand, soldier? Before he could respond, I barked more orders. The humans, or whatever it is, won't be able to handle our entire fucking armada. Order for a full-scale invasion immediately. Fire at will. Even the smallest comet that got in our way was splatted to bits. The same fate that was going to befall that stupid blue planet. The sky in front of me began lighting up. Out of nowhere, plasma bolts began to rain down from all directions in the dark space. All of my ships began firing back, but we were shooting at empty space. We couldn't see where the shots came from. One ship exploded, the another, and soon enough there were over a dozen ships offline, and the hellfire of plasma rays weren't slowing down. What's going on? I yelled at the top of my lungs. The frills on my neck began to shake from the anger coursing through my blood. I don't know, sir. The bolts seem to come out of thin air. There's nothing on radar, one of my soldiers said. Before I could say anything, the doors to my cabins opened, yet nothing came through. For a split second, everyone stared at the door. Then a flurry of plasma bolts rained inside the office, all at once. Then I saw it. Out of thin air appeared over 24 human soldiers, all decked out in military gear and weapons. I could tell from their rugged beard and giant weapons that they belonged to the Americans. Those eagle-loving fucks. One of them looked straight at me. She smiled a bit. It looked almost sadistic. The American stealth coding always works on you alien bastards.